Testing. Okay, there we go. Hey, what's up, guys? We just went through the craziest amount of spiritual warfare. It was crazy. I knew that was coming at some point where like I couldn't be able to video record or film, and I was doing that, and then also it's just like God was like, here, do this word actually right now instead, because there's like this other word I've been waiting on, but I have another one that's already ready to go for later. So stay tuned for a word. I don't want to give all of it away, but it is regarding balance. Stay tuned for that content. This title today of this video, what we're talking about now that God had me like spontaneously be like present this word today, right now, is it's definitely, well, how to know if you're on a federal watch list. So it's like a little bit more of an intense vid, but it's like cool because I'll be speaking from experience, and it's really cool. I actually just understood a verse today in Isaiah for the first time, even though I've been reading it for like a year. I didn't understand it. I've been reading it for a year, but I thought it meant something else, and then I read it today and researched a little bit more about the meaning, and I see now that it makes more sense. But it's Isaiah 28:17, y'all. And I will test you with the measuring line of justice and the plumb line of righteousness. Since your refuge is made of lies, a hailstorm will knock it down. Since it is made of deception, a flood will sweep it away. So I finally understand this, and it's like God will put us through situations to test us. So it's like an honor to live this life and to be tested even. And like that is, I made a video a while back about how the secret to life is to try again, but also like the secret to life is that suffering is the blessing, because it is an honor to be tested. And we see here in Isaiah 28:17, I will test you with the measuring line of justice. Oh, and I love that so much. And the plumb line of righteousness. Since your refuge is made of lies, a hailstorm will knock it down. Since it is made of deception, a flood will sweep it away. So it's kind of referring to like that nothing that isn't of godly like providence or like message or intuition or guidance, then it's like it will just, it's like it'll eradicate itself, like it'll be eradicated, like it'll a hailstorm will knock it down, or a flood will sweep it away. Like there's no, like foundation there. So yeah, this video is how to know if you're on a federal watch list, and this is absolutely a thing that does occur. So, okay. I was going to get my coffee this morning, and I passed, there's this car just like parked right outside the apartment, and never seen it before. There was no movement happening, and it just felt off, like really off. And I passed it, and I just walked past it, and I felt like watched and really spied on, and like all the attention was like literally on me, even though I just like passed this car I've never seen before, and it's parked right in front of my apartment, and you cannot see inside the windows. Okay, sketch situation already, right? And then I go and get coffee. I practice my French, and I said, "J'aime ta chemise," which means I like your shirt. At least I think I'm saying it right. I'm dying. Let me get water. And I got the coffee, and I came back, and it felt like off again. It felt like really weird, and I looked back over my shoulder, and it just felt really off. I felt like I was being watched, and like from inside the car, and I was like, what the heck? And then you really can't see anything. It's like glass windows tinted, like totally. And then I was like in the elevator, and I'm waiting for the elevator, and then I'm like inside the lobby, and I look out the window and I'm like looking at the door of the window of the door. Sorry, it's fine. I'm fine. And they're still there sitting in their car, and like I can't see anything in there, but like it feels off, it feels wrong, it feels bad, it feels like ill intentions like from this car. And I'm just like staring, and I was like kind of talking to myself. I was like, fuck that shit ain't real. It's like that shit ain't real. They're not really parked there for like a legit reason. They're like freaking being weird and spying on me. And like I was like, fuck that, this shit's not real. And I was like getting kind of upset, and I was like, what the heck, and like staring at this car and kind of like just staring at it and being like. And then the elevator finally got to the lobby, and then I went in, and then I came back up, and I was like, that felt really wrong, that felt really off. And then I get to my bedroom, and then I look out the window, and I see the car slowly backing away into like a rear view, like out of the lobby door window. So I think they were trying to be like less obvious, but then I was just like, staring at them outside my window with like no fear, and like, you know, I was like just like looking out the window, and like I'm not wearing sunglasses out of my bedroom or anything, so it's like obvious my face, and I'm just staring at the car. And then after like not even like 10 seconds of just like staring at the car and being like, what the heck, and you know, scrutinizing this presence that I don't appreciate right outside my home, like staking me out while I go and get coffee. I hope they have coffee while they stake me out, like in order to like officially stake out. I don't understand. Like, what do they think is gonna happen? Like, I'm just gonna go and get my coffee, like, so. And then they like drove off, like once they like saw, I think they saw that I was looking at them through the window. And this is an example of what it's like to be harassed and stalked and followed. It's always in the cars where you can't see in, it's tinted windows, and people in this society, for some reason or other, they are like targeted. They could be like a brilliant scientist on the verge of a cure for like a really rare disease, and like people in society are also targeted for other reasons, such as like their philosophical beliefs or the fact that they're speaking truth. And so a lot of the signs that we'll go through today, and thank you for being here. My name's Kimberly. This is Kimberly Ponce Channel, where we talk about awesome things literally all the time, is there's a noise campaign. There's noise campaigns, and that's part of the harassment. So it's constantly loud scooters. Obviously, any type of aircraft, obviously that's fair game. Like, what world are we living in? Like, these are the end times. And then scooters, decoy ambulances, decoy police cars, little bleep 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 bleep, as they like drive by your house. And it's just all a negative conditioning, negative brainwashing to get you disrupted in your central nervous system and never at peace and never being able to relax. And so these are some of the signs we're going to go through today. If you ever thought maybe you've been followed or stalked or harassed because you is having the sauce, baby doll, you got it, and they're wanting to watch so that they can learn and study you. There's a lot of information about gang stalking and being harassed and followed on YouTube. So refer to other videos as well from other people's channels to kind of correlate the information. This is just my experience going through this. So the first thing is just harassment top notch. Just constant harassment. It's like the number one injustice of human rights, where you have no privacy and you're constantly being accosted, your time and your energy, so you can't like have like a full fruition of thought. You can't get to the end of a thought in your head without somebody like, you got $1.50. Hey mom, looking good today. Hey, does anybody, hey, somebody got whatever it is. Like, people always have like crazy stories or excuses, and like lurking and like harassment and like petitions of all strange kinds, and just the city's like that. But so harassment will be like extra top notch. There can be like aircraft, that's like fair game. Obviously, that's totally fair game. And like number two, you're constantly being spied on, so like the car. And I've dealt with the cars with tinted windows. I just haven't talked about it that much because I don't like to give too much attention to it because that gives it more power. But I will make this video for the fact that I'm using the aircraft noise in the background as evidence that I do experience this. And it's not a coincidence that I'm hearing that at the same time that I had to restart my computer, delete everything on my computer just to record this video. It's like, that's what I was saying, is warfare. So, it's all good. I'm a warrior. Can handle it. Yeah. 3, noise, loud scooters, loud knocking. Oh yeah, like there's just like crazy like noise coming from the elevator, like banging incessantly, or like a power drill, like a saw that needs to go off. I don't know if you guys heard like a couple videos like a week ago or like a month ago when I was just getting back into my consistent videos. There'd be like that chainsaw that was on every morning right as I was like trying to like speak. And it's like these things that are happening in our environment, like it's of a spiritual attack. It's not flesh and blood that we fight against. It's spiritual cosmic powers of evil and authorities and rulers. And so the evil manifests in noises that disrupt, for example. Loud, weirdly timed. Oh, yeah. And like people sitting in their cars, somehow monitoring movements on the inside of one's house. They have their technology, they have their satanic mirrors, they have their ways, and there are ways to fight against this in the spirit and pray against it. There's a lot of work to do today. I'm like feeling that. But it's cool. I'm excited. I'm honored. It's very cool to have this platform and share it with you guys and expose. So if anyone else has ever experienced these weird things, you're not going to feel as alone. And know that these are tactics that go way back in history as to how it defuses like a person's sense of control, and that's the whole point. It's a insidious and vicious. It's all instigation. It's all an instigation. It's all to incite one's own torment, and it's all a way to incite one's own misery by their own actions. And so that's why the verse, we'll just keep referring back to this verse, is Isaiah 28:17, because I will test you with the measuring line of justice. So you'll go through times where you are being like targeted, and that's like the way of testing you. And God is providing that, like, okay, like, go ahead and test my son or my daughter in this way. I'm allowing them to be tested in this way. And that's part of our character development, and that's part of the reward. And being a Christian comes at a cost, but the reward, nevertheless, like how much we lose, it's like we don't, because we lose our life and then we like gain our life in God. So it's good to be tested. It's an honor. It's great. It may not feel like it at the time. Definitely hard to have that perspective at the time. Let's keep paying attention to the next one here, you guys. Disruption. Oh yeah. So, like I said, technology be hacked, and when I'm performing and I look up my music on Spotify, it always logs out of Spotify on its own when I'm in the middle of performing, and it's a way that has obviously frustrated me in the past and makes me feel like I have no control over my performance and my set list, and obviously it makes it hard to maintain a benevolent composure or countenance when like literally your computer is switching songs. I remember I was playing Good For You by Olivia Rodrigo in Times Square, and it all of a sudden switched to a completely different song on like YouTube, and I wasn't touching it at all. So it'll when you get to the point where you're moving up in the world and you're moving up in the kingdom of God and doing what you're supposed to be doing, there will be attacks that heavy and that hard. It's just part of New Levels, New Devils. You guys have heard of that. So that's disruption. You might experience disruption on your technological devices. That was something that happened for me. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I was watching one of Terry Joel Jr.'s video, like, wow, I don't know, like earlier, I don't know, like a year ago, or yeah, like a year now, yeah, or like 9 months ago, in the past, and it was like, I think it was 2023, and I was really keen on listening, obviously, and I documented in my journal that actually while I was watching that video, I believe I was meant to hear it, and it was going to be so powerful and helpful for me, that it was so weird. It came up with like literally 3 advertisements, because at the time I didn't have YouTube Prime, and so there was like advertisements and stuff, but like there was more advertisements than usual. It was like 3 advertisements and I couldn't like skip it, and then every time I pressed play, it paused on its own 12 times. This is like my computer. I'm not touching it. I'm trying to watch a video. It paused 12 times. After I would go and press play, and it would play for a little, and then it would stop, and I have to press it again, and it paused 12 times with 3 advertisements. And so there will be disruptions in your technology that's against your control. These are all insidious, vicious ways to silence us, because who's going to believe you if you don't have the evidence? And then how is there any breadcrumb of evidence? How is there any accusation if there's no breadcrumb of any evidence, and therefore there is no conviction, and or therefore there is no person guilty of a crime, because clearly this person is just going through these things and they're elevated and their technology is just having technical difficulties. There's no proof, there's no evidence. And this is the very mechanism, the political mechanism of, honestly, it goes back to World War II and Hitler's, it goes back to warfare of psychological warfare of how to like torment a human the most, and so it's putting somebody through so many attacks that are invisible to others, and it's like that harassment, and it's the saying, any big dog can have even the smallest flea can drive the biggest dog crazy. So that's kind of like what psychological warfare that dates back to, like, literally being implemented into wars and strategies of cruel and unusual punishment. And then number 5, you'll experience like having a hard time getting hired, so you could be blacklisted. I have had weird experiences trying to get hired again in the legal field, and it was again, all these situations where it's like details where you think about them, it doesn't quite add up. But say, for example, I had an interview with an attorney who was looking for an attorney, but it was going to be a summer internship, and I wrote a cover letter, and they saw my cover letter, and then they saw my resume, and they asked for an interview, and then it said it was like at 4 p.m. And then it like all of a sudden like wasn't at 4 p.m. It was like 4:30, so like I waited for half an hour. And it's all these ways of like trying to get your energy up just to either like stab you in the back or like take the rug out from underneath you, so that you have no regulation ability of your emotions, because it's constantly doing this to your emotions, because it's truly cruel and unusual punishment. It's torment. It's vicious. It's malicious. It is truly. These are mechanisms for death. They're nothing to be taken lightly, and that is why so many. Oh, yeah, I put up the longboard and skateboard just to show you guys. This is Gretchen. This is Fiocca. And it's just like a way to torment humans the most. So it's nothing to be taken lightly at all. And that's why there's so many different situations of like, you'll see like passing away, or like it looks like it was deemed and categorized as like a commit S word, like somebody like took enough action to ensure that they, God forbid, like they decided to self-delete, so to speak, and like there's no evidence like that backs up how this person was tormented for years and years and years as a TI, then it just makes it look like another mental health case. And that's how this is sort of prospering. This is how the government and being on federal watch list, or those who are TIs, those who are speaking up about something, doing something important that is actively against what society profits from, that's going to be silenced, and that's going to be muted, and you're going to be attacked for bringing that strong viewpoint. It's a powerful viewpoint. It's the truth, and the government and capitalism doesn't make money off of truth. They make money off of lies. So you guys, I think we're already at 20. That's cool. We're almost done. And then the 6, volatile work history. So I'm not quite sure. I think it means like there was some kind of like people who are usually like blacklisted or like having a hard time getting hired is because there was like some kind of like, what do you call it, smear campaign that was like against them, and so there can be like volatile, disgruntled former employees that come up against, and like those can be the ones with the big money that fund the authorities' pockets in order to harass you and send decoy ambulances, send decoy police cars down your street, or funds the people that are paid to sit in cars and honk and disrupt your peace while they constantly monitor your every move inside your home. It sounds like what I'm saying is unreal. I know. I know. So then we also have 8. You'll just receive intense hate or glares in public and chaotic bursts of rage from others. And 9 is mistreatment and customer abuse at like regular everyday places, like grocery stores or getting your cup of coffee or laundry. You'll be mistreated horribly. That's what it falls in line with the smear campaign. It's like people being paid to come up against you. That's how powerful you are. And so these are signs that you're on a federal watch list. However, there's nothing to be afraid of at all, because these are ways that God is saying, okay, you can go ahead and test my child in this way or that way. And I know that it's the measuring line of justice and the plumb line of righteousness. So these are character building chapters that we get to go through, and not everybody is blessed with suffering the same sufferings, if that makes sense. Because sometimes like something beautiful can come out of like a suffering, but like we go through, different chapters of pain that we all have like different beautiful, we transform beautifully individually after different trials of pain and challenges and difficulties. I think that's what makes us so beautiful as a community when we get together. Yeah. And then 10 and 11, you guys, are the last signs of how to know that you're like on a federal watch list or a TI or under the public eye in some sort of way. Like it could be just trying to watch and predict and understand you a little bit more because you're powerful and like you're onto something. Like if you're onto something, people are watching. That's just how it goes. Ethically or unethically, people are always watching. That gets me. That does get me. That does kind of get me going out in public and stuff. It's like, especially for women, like the moment you think that you're sitting down and you're safe and you like put your purse right here, there's always like somebody just waiting for you to let your guard down so they can sneak on in there and get all weird on you. It's crazy. There are people who go out in public just to prey on somebody weak, somebody alone. And I've come to develop a sense of like when something's about to happen, so I never sit down too long anymore, because yep. All right, so 10 and 11, it's your cell phone and laptop is hacked. You're experiencing could be experiencing like somebody stealing your data from Amazon account or your email, etc. They're able to learn more about you if they hack into your information, obviously, and that's another violation of privacy. what did I see here? A group of people with ill intentions, excessive free time, and government-funded pockets sit in cars, actively engaging around the clock noise campaign, harassment, and men on scooters, oddly timed encounters with perpetual agents monitoring and tracking the TI person. A federal watch list with cameras inside apartments tracking the TI's movements and constantly attempting to antagonize those inside the home, especially during distressing phone calls with a therapist, for example, or an important Zoom meeting with a home interview, for example. Like I had like one of the first jobs that I got here in New York was like really solid until I got injured and like it didn't work out. But it was really like my dream job. It really was. Like if I had just taken like, anyway, we make mistakes and we live and we learn. But that was my dream job. That was like soccer coaching in Brooklyn. And during the interview, we had so much interference with my home Wi-Fi that we had to switch the interview to a phone call. And then also I noticed yesterday that my videos upload like 10 times faster, legit, when I'm in public, like sitting at like the Wi-Fi from the New York Public Library. When I did the video at the Bryant Park yesterday, the third video of yesterday, that uploaded literally in like 2 seconds, or like 5 minutes. It was really fast, and my videos here take like half an hour to upload. So there's something sus, there's something sus about. Yeah, there's like a lot out of my control, and there's a lot like of attacks all at once in the technology world. So it's like I'm paying attention and I'm making a video, so it exposes the shenanigans. And if you happen to be going through any of this, here you go. Here's some signs of maybe this is validating, maybe this makes a little bit of sense. I hope it is comforting, and to know that you're not going through this for no reason at all, too, boo. So Isaiah 28:17. Sorry, the way I pulled that out was silly. I will test you with the measuring line of justice and the plumb line of righteousness. Since your refuge is made of lies, a hailstorm will knock it down. Since it is made of deception, a flood will sweep it away. Okay, you guys, so everything we go through, it's for our best version of ourselves later on, and the cost of being a Christian, it comes at a cost. So we have to understand that before we agree to go all in. And then once you go all in, expect to be attacked more than you've ever been attacked before. But he loves you, and I love you, and you can handle it. Definitely, I can handle it. We can all handle it. It's just a lot, and it just helps when there's more people like saying you got this and preparing you with words of what will happen if you follow your true destiny. You will be attacked relentlessly in many forms, in many ways. I would practice grounding techniques and how to cheer yourself up in your own way, and you know yourself best in that. It's a ultimate, what do you call it, you guys? Crucible of patience. An ultimate crucible of patience to learn how to overcome this level of warfare. And of course, like right now too, like you was such a warrior for going through all of this right now, because we're in the end times, so everything is like amped up and heightened. So you was crushing it, sweet gal, beautiful gentleman. That's it for this vid, you guys. I'll be back with more, and yeah, I love you. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay chosen. Peace.